Howdy folks, Benjy here. Welcome back to the MatchNet podcast. I have just come back from Las Vegas for some workshops over there, and I'm back here in North Carolina with my kids. We are just outside playing here in the summer heat, and we're going to be going next week on a road trip to UTS, New York, to do some content, to give some presentations for the GPA conclusion workshop there. I'm going to be taking the whole family, all three kids and my wife there for a little road trip. Looking forward to that. But in this episode, you are going to love it if you have been trying to figure out how to feel God's love and grace, especially when you're feeling unloved, and especially when you're feeling lonely and sad and you're needing to be filled up and you don't know how to get out of that rut, then this is just for you. All right, if you have been feeling a bit lonely or sad or depressed or anxious or stressed or just bored lately, if you're experiencing difficult, unpleasant emotions like I have many times in my life, as we all have, right? Then this video is especially for you, and I think you're gonna appreciate the process, the mental process that I use a lot in my life to help me feel loved and just feel grace and the love of God, because it's so interesting to me. And also the most tragic thing in our world is that God's love is infinitely available all the time, everywhere, anywhere you go. It is there. And according to Father, love is what you breathe in spirit world. And according to the DP, love is what we are supposed to be experiencing from the beginning of human history. Adam and Eve were supposed to be able to communicate through love, through their parent, heavenly parent, God. And it's the greatest tragedy, in my opinion, that love is infinitely available all the time, everywhere you go. Like oxygen, you just have to breathe it in and it is there. But the tragedy is that it is so hard for us to feel that love. The tragedy is that it's there within just arm's reach of you, and it's so hard to feel that love, right? Now, in my experience of being blessed now for over 13 years, or 13 years this year, having 3 children, I've had so many ups and downs in my life, of feelings of just, I'm not worthy as a man, as a son, as a father, as a husband. I'm failing. I've had so many difficult emotions that maybe you've experienced yourself. And I've made it a process in my life of always trying to seek and prioritize love and experiencing that grace and breathing in that love, right? And I remember a few years ago having this one experience where I was feeling really down. I was just not feeling the grace of God. I was not feeling loved. I was not feeling connected with people, with my wife, with my kids. And I remember telling my wife this. And I was like, honey, Hitoe, I don't feel loved. I'm trying to receive love from everybody. I just feel like there's nobody around me to love me. And I was trying to like grab love everywhere I could. And I asked her, honey, how do you feel loved, right? Because she's a very solid person, emotionally, spiritually. Like, how do you experience love? Where do you get your love from, right? And I hope she would say, from you, Benjy. No, I'm just kidding. You know what she said? She said, I just remember that I am loved. And that moment just blew my mind. At that moment, I realized that I have been like a kid in a candy store, trying to grab as much candy, as much love as I can from every which person that I could find. And all I had to do is realize the times in my life where I have felt love and just go back to those moments, because those are reference points. That's what I call them. They're reference points for me to know without a doubt, with utmost confidence, that I am loved in every situation, right? And so I want you to practice this. Next time you're feeling down or sad or depressed or stressed, or just like you're in a rut, in a funk, as they call it, and you don't know how to get out, think back to the moments in your life that you have felt most loved in your life. And I guarantee you, if you sit in that moment for just a minute, the feelings of wanting to run away, wanting to be alone, wanting to escape, wanting to squash down these emotions, wanting to be alone, those feelings will dissipate and they will disappear and they'll fizzle until you will realize, oh, love is all around me. God's grace is all around me. I just have to breathe it in, right? And this comes up again and again and again with the people that I mentor, especially people who are battling addiction, for example. They often, because the number one thing that I recommend people to do is to connect and have meaningful conversations with people. When you're feeling feelings of, oh, I'm stressed, oh, I'm anxious, oh, I'm depressed, they have a moment where they can make a decision of, do I isolate myself and indulge in my phone, in drugs, alcohol, porn, etc.? Or do I take the other direction, which is to connect with a person, to share to say, hey, I'm feeling stressed right now. I'm feeling really lonely today. I'm feeling really anxious. I'm feeling really bored. And I don't know how to deal with this emotion, right? So I encourage people at those moments, that's when you connect with people. And the thing that people sometimes rebuttal with is they say, oh, I don't need to connect with a person because there's, number one, there's nobody in my life, but also I have God. I can just go out into nature, take a walk, and connect with God's love, right? And that's how I connect with people, right? I think that is ideal. Ideally, yes, we should be able to do that. However, unless you have a human relationship, a connecting point with a person, and experience that love from a person, it is very hard to understand what God's love feels like because you have no reference point. You have no reference as to what it feels like. And the more reference points you have in your life through people, because guys, that is what God designed human interactions to be like. God created parents so we can experience parental love. God created siblings. We can experience sibling love. We can experience children. We can experience children's love, and husband and wife so that we can experience spousal love, conjugal love, guys. There's a reason for that. And we can't expect to just go out in nature and meditate under a waterfall and experience God's love through that. It is not through that. It is through people we experience love. And once we have experienced those reference points of love, then we can connect with God's love infinitely all the time just by remembering the times where we have felt love. And it is powerful, guys. It is hugely important and powerful. Because no matter where you are in the universe, alone, traveling out in outer space, at work, living alone, on campus, going to school, living in a different country or a different state than the people that you normally connect with, all you have to do is reach out to them, or you can reach out to God and say, hey, I remember that time where I felt so much of your love, and I'm grateful for that. And not like me trying to reach out like a kid in a candy store trying to grab all the candy and all the love that I can, but just remember, actually, I have everything I need. I am loved. Here's an example to help illustrate what it's like to have this reference point of what God's love feels like. People who are born blind, if you try to explain to somebody who is born without sight what color is, they have no idea what you're talking about. I've even watched interviews of people interviewing people that were blind, born blind, and they're asking them things like, what does color mean to you, right? What color is the sun, et cetera, right? And they're so baffled because they said, people explain to me what the color of yellow is, and they say, oh, yellow is the color of the sun, and red is the taste of a strawberry. And then the blind guy's like, what are you talking? I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about. That doesn't make any sense, right? Because there's no reference point. There's no way for a blind man or woman to know what color is because they don't know, have never seen it. However, if someone was born with sight and loses their sight sometime in their life, they will forever have a reference point of what color is, what sight is. So when you explain the color of the sun, they will understand it. When you explain the color of trees in the spring or in the summer or in the fall, they will have a reference point, guys. And this is what it's like to experience God's love. It only takes one interaction, one moment in your life where you feel so much grace and so much love for you to think back and remember when you're feeling the most low in your life. Oh yeah, I don't need this. Like, I know I have what I need. I know that God loves me. I know that love is infinitely available all the time. All I have to do is breathe it in, and it's beautiful. So, as an assignment for you guys, let me ask you this right now. Pause this if you need to. When were the times, list all the times in your life where you felt the most love that you've ever felt. List those times and the people that were engaged in those moments, that were present in those moments. And let those be your reference points. But here's the challenge. Don't just sit with that. I want you guys to create more reference points in your life, so to the point where you can experience these reference points every day of your life. Every day of your life, you can know that you are loved, that you are infinitely valuable. You can know that God loves you, and you can know what it feels like to live in that love. And you can see color every single day. And all it takes is one conversation. All it takes is one conversation with someone, to let yourself be seen, to be open with someone, to be honest with someone, and to receive that love. And sometimes it's hard. And sometimes I've asked people, like, when was the last time you felt so much grace and so much love, it just brought you to tears and your heart just opened? And sometimes, honestly, people say, I've never felt that before, right? And that's sad. And to me, that's one of the most tragic things in the world, is that people are walking around never ever knowing, never having confidence that they are in fact loved at all. But let me tell you guys right now, no matter where you are or what your experiences have been, there's a place for you to receive that love. And sometimes it's hard to receive it because you're trying to play catch for the first time, right? You're playing baseball catch. And if you've never played baseball or played catch with someone, you don't know how to do it. And it's foreign and it's strange. But as you practice, as you get better at it, it'll be easier and easier for you just to close your eyes, open your lungs, and breathe in that sweet, sweet love of our Heavenly Parent. All right, guys, I hope this is helpful for you. Don't forget to list the moments in your life you felt loved, and remember those when you're feeling down if you don't have anyone around you. Lots of love. See ya.